We are the only Four Diamond property within a 5-county radius. So, we cater to, guests at all levels. We have race car teams in, during the summer months. Our leisure business is, a large percentage of our room sales. So, we offer a high level of service and product. Our guest expectations are high, and our goal is to meet their expectations and exceed them. So we've made a lot of changes over the past couple of years to the property in regards to opening up a state-of-the-art fitness center just this past July. We've had a lot of renovations taking place at the hotel, which includes the guest rooms, function space, as well as opening a new gift shop, Staving Artists. That opened last July as well. So lots of improvements going on, and a lot of fun things for our guests to see. They love seeing changes. Many of our guests are repeat guests, so they appreciate seeing these things happen.
And obviously, an incredible setting down there, right at the southern tip of Seneca Lake. How does that sort of contribute to what you guys are able to offer, just in terms of a great venue in the Finger Lakes, in the heart of the Finger Lakes?
Yeah. So beyond having just a 5-diamond experience here at the hotel with the services that we offer and our amenities, and of course the service and the staff, it makes a huge difference when there's so many amazing things to do in the area. We of course have the state park that'll be opening here later in May, Watkins Glen International, and of course the Seneca Lake Wine Trail with all the breweries that are there. It really adds a unique experience for all of our guests, whether they're coming for a group event or a leisure traveler.
What is, I'm a bit curious, just kind of inside baseball here. What is that like peak part of the summer season like for you guys? It must get to a point where every day is just like trying to literally advance to the next day and just make it.
Yeah, well, a lot of that depends on our staffing levels. And, we all have faced challenges with that over the years, not just the hospitality business, but business in general. We have been very fortunate to attract some really great talent to our hotel. That is key to our success in surviving day-to-day operations. We're fortunate as our shoulder season seems to shrink year after year. We used to go from very quiet to extremely busy. So now it's a more gradual process. So we get to warm up to it a little bit better. But it's busy. There's no doubt. We are running, well into the 90% occupancy for, May through October, which is great. But staffing levels are key, and we've been very successful at recruiting some great people. So they represent us very well.
What are the non-peak seasonal part of the year? What's that like by comparison? Have you guys seen any sort of trend changes over the years? I talked to a lot of folks in the tourism and hospitality space, and they say that there's been an uptick over the last few years in terms of more people visiting the region during the colder, cooler months, winter.
Yeah, there's no question. There has been an uptick. We've been very lucky, and our shoulder season, which we typically refer to as mid-November through the end of March. We've been very lucky because those particular months are big conference months for us. We do a lot of events on the weekends, a lot of galas for a lot of different companies, a lot of charity events. And these particular groups rebook year after year. So our weekends are pretty solid. Having repeat business and maintaining those clients and then building on that base is key to our success in the shoulder season. So, we've been really lucky. It's not as quiet as it was when we first opened the first couple of years because we've made our mark and, have built a lot of relationships that have continued on, right from day one till today.
And it's a good opportunity for transient travelers during the off season as well. We always joke and say, but they can get a 4-diamond experience for a 2-diamond price. So it's a good opportunity for people to get a unique couple days away that they otherwise might not have during the peak season.
That's fair. That's fair. Have you guys seen more, I want to call them like regional travelers? That's another trend, it seems, over the last few years, especially since the pandemic. Not necessarily as many folks coming from as far away, but more folks coming from, say, 4 to 6 hours away.
Yeah, absolutely. We see quite a few of our transient travelers that do come in that 4 to 6 hour radius, as well as group business. We do get quite a bit of group business and events that are booked from people that are in the similar radius. So a couple of states over, shorter trips, as opposed to the long distance traveling that we saw pre-pandemic.
Very cool. And a warm winter, I'm sure, helps that as well. So let's talk a little bit about what you guys have coming up pretty soon here. Easter weekend. Walk us through what's going on down there.
Well, before Easter weekend, we have our traditional, famous, very popular Breakfast with the Easter Bunny happening this Sunday. That has always been a real local favorite. We've been doing it now for 15 years. It's been a lot of fun. We've seen, many of the children coming year after year, starting, as toddlers and still coming as teenagers. So that's been fun to see that transition. But it's a great event. I mean, we have craft tables for the kids. Of course, your favorite breakfast items on our buffet, including, of course, the traditional ham and sausage and eggs and bacon and home fries and pastries and such. We also, of course, have a visit coming from the Easter Bunny. He'll be here from 9 till 11 in the morning, and he hands out, or she hands out, we don't know which, treat bags for all of the kids. So it's a great event. It's a community event. We typically do around 300 guests for this event each year. And then we go from that, leading right into our Easter buffet, which is the following Sunday. Also a very popular event, within the local community. Typically both of these events sell out each year. The Easter buffet, we have brunch that goes on from 11 to 1. We have carving stations. We have omelet stations. We have, steamship being carved by our chef. All the traditional favorites, the ham and the ham and the potatoes and the vegetables and the salmon and the chicken and the pasta. And of course, our endless famous dessert display. You won't leave hungry, that's for sure. So I say to, the people that call here, hey, if you don't want to cook in the kitchen all day and clean up the mess all night in the kitchen, this is the place you want to be. So these have been very popular over the years. And we're happy to provide this to the community. So
still time to get into those, correct? Neither of those have filled up yet?
The Breakfast with the Easter Bunny has sold out. That sold out a little bit early this year. The Easter buffet itself, we do have limited availability right now. So anybody that's interested, I would recommend them calling sooner rather than later.
Act quickly. Okay, so my last question for you guys. Elevator pitch. Why should somebody who's thinking about maybe coming down to Watkins Glen later this spring or perhaps this summer, why should they visit you guys?
So like we touched on a little earlier, just to get an overall 4-diamond experience here at the Watkins Glen Harbor Hotel. And again, it's not just the hotel and the property itself and everything that we have to offer our guests. It really is the overall experience that they receive here. So the service they'll receive from all of our team members, as well as the community as a whole. We have so much to offer our guests in this region, and there's so many great things to do and take advantage of while they're here.
Yeah, and I also think it's important to note that, because of our location, as you mentioned, we're right on the tip of the lake. The park is right there. There's so many things to do for our guests that are within walking distance. We have the boat cruises that are right outside our back door, the state park within walking distance, all of these great businesses, local shops, boutiques, breweries that are opening up, right across the street from us. So lots to do. And a lot of people, when they drive a distance to come and see us, weather permitting. They like to be out on their feet, putting on some steps and doing some walking. So this is the place to be. Park your car, have a good time. We offer, we have, wine transportation buses that you can rent, cars that you can rent for those folks that want to go out and see the wineries, spend the day in the wineries, don't have to worry about driving. Our concierge service can help arrange the transportation for them. So this is a one-stop shop right here.
Awesome. Marissa, Carolyn, thank you both for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
That'll do it for this edition of Finger Lakes Today. If you'd like to see more conversations like this one, check out the show on your favorite podcast platform or subscribe to the FingerLakes1.com YouTube channel. Have a great day, and we will see you next time.